one Veno then.
I think one Veno looks okay this game. The Veno Naga looks very strong. It's a hero that can match up alright against the Brewmaster. Does limit your scaling with Veno DK. Your one.
Yeah.
FTD scaling doesn't look any better right now. Neither team actually has the amazing carry.
They go bat for the bat. Like, I guess Underlord would be kind of similar to the TIE Hunter, but he doesn't have a stun, right? So that doesn't give you any more answers towards the Brewmaster. So this way you get some payoff potential, and you have such good objective taking and generally good sustain and everything that I don't think you needed like that Aura Builder Underlord necessarily.
They could aggro try the Naga Veno on dying and try to get that Batrider Brewmaster matchup in the safe lane.
Probably some
5 seconds remaining.
There's also, I almost feel like this is like a Jug kind of game for the Dream, you know?
But, Jug or Life, is Life still a band? Oh, they banned him. Yeah. You have that kind of magic in here against the Batrider. It could be a Weaver game. I think with the Beetles, he lanes very well against the Batrider, and I think before the DK pick, none of those 3 heroes had Disabled, so it looked pretty good for Weaver.
Could be a Slark game.
Storm!
No, it will be the 10-6 Storm. Okay.
Yep. Wow, good call, Trent. Huh. Well, it feels a little better against the Storm now. They've at least got DK and Batrider, but not great still.
We're looking at for FTD, they want this game to go long. They have no building push. They're purely looking at Storm getting like 3 or 4 big items and just being unkillable. Like once he gets his Lincolns up, like he's not going to go at first, but that's kind of the item timing for Storm where he suddenly becomes very difficult to deal with. But they will not play like a very strong early game push strat.
Man, how do you kill someone during lasso?
That's a good question.
Well, also
Storm. Wait a second.
They actually have like no burst damage.
I think I'm probably looking for the Dream here. I don't know. I feel like IG, like you said, 10 people during lasso. The one downside is that I also don't really know who Storm kills in this game. But
gonna settings here. Sorry, folks.
Prepare for
okay. I can help you.
We're pretty good. I don't have the auto camera on, but that's okay.
You can manage?
I think so. I'm with Lyrical. I like this FTD draft a lot more. Just feels very conventional. Feels like a good game for the Storm Spirit.
Our boys are stepping off, I believe. Is that what you're saying? It's you guys. You're welcome to stay.
It's playoffs times.
We'll
give you guys your little moment for now.
We're having a moment now.
All right.
That's what it sounds like.
Gosh.
The pressure. All right. Let's be more relaxed. That means we have to be serious. Because our cast are super serious the entire time.
If there's one thing that we're known for, Moon Deck, it's always being serious. Serious face, engage here. The minimap icons, big and small. I wish I knew how to change that. I don't like it when they get tiny. I got old man eyes, Trent. When they get tiny, I can't see who's who. I like the big ones.
All right, buddy. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, great.
I'll give you the training wheels camera. I'll start yelling at you when people are dying. Great. Is that the kind of life that you need right now?
No, we'll try it for game number 1, and then I'll have production come and change out the auto exec file. I think that sounds like
you're gonna get all whiny. I'll cry. Production, save me.
Production, we're gonna do 2 black coffees to the casting station pronto.
Battle begins.
Both
not
for Trent.
Really.
No, not really. No. I've got monsters.
They're so nice. I'm worried that they're gonna start doing things for us.
All right, so in general, though, I still think the FTD draft feels pretty nice. Looking at the lanes, do we have any switcheroos? Looks like Sand King will be headed down bottom to match up with the Leshrac. Storm Spirit will be going mid, and then up top, that means it'll be Rubik Brewmaster. Nothing too surprising there.
Yeah, you have these questions. The first thing that needs to happen in this game is the matchup for the Batrider comes into question. It's just like, how's the situation going to be? Is he going to get that matchup he wants? And this looks okay. Dueled up a Naga here. Sure, you don't get the experience quite as fast, but obviously quite a bit of threat. You can't come as close with like the 316 Naples if you can throw it with a net or something at level 2.
That's a pretty decent lane.
The power of this Sand King Leshrac that we see so often is like they love to harass and they like to impose the threat themselves, but you can't actually do that if there's this napalm just flying out all the time.
Yeah, definitely a situation where sticks can be a game changer. Leshrac. Starting with 1, so that's quite nice. Naga, standard Mango, stout shield, very hard to harass out. Does take a stun, but just doesn't hurt. 7 armor as well on the Naga. Perfect in these kind of situations. Checking in on the other lanes. How's mid? Storm, DK, kind of a snoozer here. DK dominating early, no big surprise. Storm undoubtedly will be relying on the jungle, some stacks.
Yeah, and then his job is way easier with levels for the Stormspirit. No real issues at all. Very happy if you're FTD to get this kind of a matchup. Especially these days where there's just like so few rotations to the mid lane. Stormspirit has really come back with the changes to bottle being better now, and then just no one really partying with the mid.
Q being very aggressive on the Undying. The Brewmaster handling it just fine. 2 and 3, not the ideal creep score, but some experience. And most importantly, not really letting the Venomancer free farm either. Safe lane Veno. Very interesting. I guess it's a good sign to see IG maybe switch things up after a rocky group stage in this qualifier, but it's a strat that always makes me nervous. You know, I get similar butterflies in my stomach to like when I see a position 1 Venge. I'm like, this can definitely work, but just I hope you know what you're signing up for, boys, because this is not necessarily easy to execute.
It's like they just, I don't know, I guess they're looking at those last games and just wondering, you know, we probably could have done it. You know, clearly we made some mistakes, but we had a really good laning stage. We were ahead by a lot. So if we make a draft even more suited for this early game, can we actually finish? So this would be a very big game for them moving forward if they can just get this whole strategy worked out and get strong about it. But Bobaca looking for a courier snipe here in the mid lane. It is on its way, but it's going to be flying at that point. He has the net. So don't think he'll be able to get enough right click in, though. He's only at 48 damage, so he already starts running away.
It's pretty tight. Well, noble effort, but a little bit of a bummer there. So back to the mid. Still DK all day. Both level 4, but sizable advantage. Raji will just TP back. It's caught in the trees.
This whole lacking of stuns, once again.
Yep.
Not really something for you to worry about. You know, just TPing out all the time. Easy peasy.
Also a recurring theme here. Undying's been able to put on a lot of pressure, but still haven't really stopped the Brewmaster from getting some farm, though as I say that, Venom's Gale does connect his level 2 Poison Sting, so their right clicks are actually pretty dirty here. Another Decay coming up. There is a Soul Rip as well. Brewmaster might be able to still survive this. Sick. Now Rodney with the telekinesis pulls him back, and Q takes a lot of tower shots.
Bottom lane, nothing too exciting happening. Just force trading back and forth and forcing each other back. In fact, James even misses Burrow's gets tipped by Bobaca.
Very nice.
Yeah, deserved. The guy out.
Ooh, Lesh clips the Bat Rider with a stun. Follow up, but
Bat's
doing all right here.
Not really finding that pressure though. Like he had the boots and the wind lace, but still can't find anything on the left track because even with just boots, he's at 385. So
it's tough.
difficult to close.
Early points in lightning, and yeah, it's kind of both teams with a bully lane down there. Ends up being this stalemate. Keeping with the trend of late first blood as well. Trent rolling into 5 minutes here for bounty runes, and still no kills.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit ridiculous at this point, honestly.
2-1-2 is in full effect, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like, hey, we don't see many
look
rotations.
at this play by SRF at the bottom of the Bat Rider. He's gonna go in for the neutrals. The full stack there, the napalm. James, he wants the first strike stealing all this gold.
Oh, he's gonna connect on 2, set up for the Lesh, and they're gonna regret this. There's 1 kill for the Lesh as the first blood is drawn. Bobaca gets the rune, sets up the double for the Leshrac. FTD come out big. Now they do lose their Rubik on the other side.
Oh, I love this already. The tips go right back though.
Yep.
But I mean, that's a bold play. If it worked out, it would have been extremely good for them, obviously, but that is really going to help out the Sand King and the Leshrac.
I mean, setting up for the double burrow strike there, not ideal. Like you said, they get punished.
Sand King is rich. He just picks up his boots, has another 340 gold.
So up top, Rubik died though. What was the actual bounty spread? Looks like Radiant did get slightly better. They got 3 out of the 4.
Bobaca got the 1 bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was able to snag one of them.
Mid lane, looks like a rotation onto the DK. He gets pulled back up to the high ground, but now healed up as the Storm Spirit gets turned on. And
he just hit
Snare
6.
Right clicks. Is he going to be able to zip out of this? They might have the damage through the Dragon Tail. And it's there. Storm Spirit falls first. DK on 2. FTD have to make it back. But all the while in the bottom lane, Lesh dies solo to the level 5 Bat Rider.
We got the Tranquils up. Able to close that gap. Very nice. That is a huge kill for him to actually get back into this, and That'll put him towards the lasso. He hasn't skilled it yet, maybe thinking that there might be an opportunity to actually use it, but theoretically, if you want to just stay in the lane a little bit longer, you might just want to go in towards like these napalms or the Firefly points.
Yeah, it's not bad. Bat Rider is definitely one of those heroes. It feels like you just want to level up everything. And if you're not going to be using that ultimate, up top we'll see Aggressive now initiated on. Raji TP's back in with Beyond. Nice use of the healing salve. It'll keep Aggressive alive. Raji actually taking some decent return damage from those pesky Plague Wards. Veno now level 5. Going for kind of a hybrid build here, but 2 points in the Plague Wards.
Yeah, not much discussion about him, but he got himself his 1 kill. And Aggressive, of course, a hardcore farmer, it would seem, in a lot of the games we've had so far. So,
oh yeah.
Need to push it a little bit in this one. And I'm curious what these builds are all going to end up being, though. Like, for SRF on the Bat Rider, will he go for the Blink first? Like, Drone's obviously a lot of value when we're playing with this 5-man, but will we get that from the Dragonite instead? And then he's just going to really try and enable these quick pick-offs into early aggression onto towers. It's a lot of pressure when you go for the Blink first to actually, obviously, execute every single time and not just keep farming.
No doubt. High risk, high reward. Lasso ready to go, close to level 7. Now another TP rotation from FTD. It's Rubik joining James. Oh, Burrow Strike starts things off. He does have 1 charge left on that infused raindrop, but keeps him pretty topped off. DK also joining the fray. Nice flame break, but Brewmaster also makes the TP. He does have a split. Needs to be a little careful here. It's only a level 3 Naga Siren, but James, Burrow Strike available. Getting low, but still might be able to set this up. There's the Brew split. Boulder connects onto the Naga. Cyclone on the other side. Isolates the DK as the tombstone comes down, but easy right clicks. Raji falls now. A lot of low HP heroes on the Radiant. Brewmaster's coming back into Panda form, and the DK is going to turn, drop the stun. They don't have the damage. It looks good for the Radiant as now Storm comes zipping on in. SRF clipped by the Burrow Strike. He gets brought down by right clicks as Storm finds 1 more. Nowhere to go. Double damage rune makes it easy, and FTD make out big.
Excellent plays by the Brewmaster there. Humongous props heading out to Mr. Beyond. He had 6 HP left when he got the split off.
That's pretty tight.
And then he stays in with the Earth Panda after, just knowing he built up his stick. Gets that off.
Yep.
And they finish the kill.
A lot of confidence there. Clearly an experienced Brew player, knowing his limits quite well. Raji getting dove up top is Baboka, trying to find him in the trees. Might just set this up for Storm. Still has a little bit left on that double damage. Just now expires. Nowhere for Baboka to go, and it's actually the Lesh that comes in. We'll finish him off with a level 4 Lightning Storm.
Oh, not looking too hot there for the old IG squad. You know, maybe hoping to start taking over. I think they haven't quite hit the levels that they want or any of the items, right? Like, they don't have a single aura item going or anything like that.
Yep.
Veno's not joining in. They're not like coming down and tombstoning / ulting the tower. They are starting to create the pressure here, though. It looks like they're just going to try and like fully complete the tower down bottom.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah.
Question is, can you really respond from the Radiant side? Like, without the split, they obviously don't want to fight. So it should be a freebie.
DK with a Blink Dagger queued up, looking for an initiation tool. SRF, still pretty far from his Blink. Scouts out the Brewmaster walking by. His ult actually not that far from coming up, and Beyond way ahead in terms of Blink Dagger progression, and now going to make it even better. Picks up the Bounty Rune. Actually could have just gone north to get the IG Rune, but of course doesn't realize it without vision. Gets caught by a lasso.
So close to split.
He might still survive here. 8 seconds. If only he had the Shrine, but Bat Rider will be able to finish him off as that bottom tier 1 also gets turned to rubble. So some wins for IG. They reclaim that net worth advantage.
Well, you know, sometimes you have a great play in a team fight. Sometimes you get way too greedy, going for a Bounty Rune in behind a team that's clearly sieging your tier 1 with no chance of you fighting.
That's why it's like they're showing a few on the map. I thought maybe he'd just go north and roll the dice there, but instead he hung around and they just rotated up. It was definitely a little peculiar.
I mean, you can understand why you make that play, though. Definitely makes sense. You're not expecting like the bat to be there. I think he would have thought the bat was like lurking near, like behind the tower or something. Probably. Yeah,
it is true. You look at the dire wards, and they do have a nice one here. Might have clipped vision of him walking by, but it was a cool spot for the bat to be hiding in this little tree nook. Certainly atypical.
Alright, well, using this time, like, yes, you lose your bot tower, but Storm Spirit's just been farming away. They don't have any sort of vision inside that classic little neutral area where the pings are now coming up from Naga saying, yo, we need to kind of go there, because he farms a lot.
He's farming
Looks
well.
like they're gonna smoke here, possibly.
Level 9. You can usually tell how a Storm Spirit is feeling based on what items he's forced into. You know, if you see a Storm Spirit buying Yule's Scepter first item, you know, he's probably not living the dream. Going Treads into Kaya, you're probably feeling pretty good, right?
Yeah.
That means you're farming up, you're going for damage, and you're thinking you're going to be able to kill people and get some extra stats before you stop off for
This
that Orchid.
is a very difficult smoke. You're going the whole way across an area that you've like lost control over, but with the
Still
Blink
going to
Dagger-
find it. Brewmaster debuts that initiation piece. They've got the follow-up stuns, and SRF will get brought down. One click from that Sword of the Angry Panda. Great use of the Blink Dagger. Exactly how you want to do it. All the while up top, Lesh was getting initiated on, still trying to farm towards that Yule Scepter, but he did TP out to safety. Once again, as we've noted, not many ways for them to stop those TPs. How's Venomancer looking? He's like farming middle of the pack. Haven't really felt the impact from aggressive. He did get 1 kill already, but finally now pressuring the tower.
He's obviously very hard to gank down here, so that's one thing he's got going for him. But he hasn't really gotten too much pressure. Now we're getting into, we have the song from Boca, so this is like time to play Dota, you know? I feel like they have the tools that should make it very difficult for FTD to actually win this fight without Beyond pulling out big plays again. Boca way ahead here. Kind of scouting with the hero and the illusions. Trying to make it look like it might not necessarily be him.
Yeah. Tower ends up going down, though.
Storm Spirit. Batrunner's gonna find him here. This would be a hell of a grab, but just not quite in time. Naga maybe just playing a bit too aggro. And still, I mean, they don't have, again, that much burst to go through the lasso, or they don't have a lot of follow-up either. Like, it has to be the Dragonite there. The net comes in, maybe it's gonna be enough, but you just need, like, the stun and the damage from the DK to assist.
I was just looking at the wards here for Raji. Great farming tool like we were talking about. Confirmed, they get Poison Sting.
BSJ in the house, you could now send this Rubik to the dead lane with the Plague Ward, I believe is the strat.
He needs it, though. Lowest on net worth in the game, actually, not even just on the team. Sand King's been soaking up a lot of that farm in the jungle. And it's paying off. He's getting very close to the Blink Dagger. It's about 500 gold away, but yeah, there's the jump, and they find the kill. Batrider again. Epicenter makes it an easy one.
Still not under that Blink. Oof. And the Dragonite, actually, I do like that he didn't go Blink first on the DK. He went for the Hood instead, so still just means there's like no drums, and you're this Batrider and just like, man, I've just been farming this whole time. I kind of wish I just bought some drums or something.
Right. Another double damage on the Storm. It's the Glyph. And now some rotations coming from IG, so they will try to mount the defense. DK has his ultimate coming up in about 10.
Just a difficult time to push in here for FTD. Like, they need that kind of YOLO initiation from the Brewmaster. He's the one who says to dive and go in, but he's fighting into all these Plague Boards, so he's assumedly going to be scouted. Speaking of scouted, the Rubik Plague Board on the high ground.
They went double Hood, actually. Aggressive has picked up one as well. There's that Brew split straight onto the Venomancer. Follow up from the Lesh. Song of the Siren breaks up the fight.
They can isolate the Panda.
Now Storm jumps in, tries to get in position, but he might just get killed. Stolen Song, there it is. Venomancer off to the side, still drops the ult, and I think FTD just retreat.
Oh my god.
The Brewmaster will get left behind, maybe can still go for the TP. Not going to try it, instead will be the Sacrificial Lamb, the only one brought down by IG. Big plays from Raji on the Rubik.
That is the, you get one. Sun out to Naga as they try and keep chasing here.
James with a nice disjoint. We'll have a stun up in another second here, but Lasso, it connects, and now the Sand King is in big trouble. They don't bring him down fast enough. He does get a burrow strike over the tree line, but Plague Wards scout him out. They do find another one. So 2 kills now going the way of IG.
Radiant are scanning.
Final life.
That's the one time Song gets stolen this game. I would be shocked if it happened.
Pretty rare steal.
Yeah. Like, obviously, you have any spells to throw out.
Storm going for a Bloodstone now, so no Orchid. Potentially longer game. Not terribly surprised.
This next DK ulti, I mean, mid is a great option. Venomancer isn't even brought in, but they still have level 4 Tombstone, so this should not be a problem. There isn't a Song, but although they have a heavy cooldown lineup with like DK ulti and Tombstone and Naga Song, you don't necessarily have to pop them all at once. Like right now, fighting without Song, but it's okay because they're still just holding this Tombstone in their hand. Venomancer's diving near right, and then they're going to try and link up with the Venomancer down bottom. They can just push that tier 2 as well. They want to force an engagement out of Beyond.
Well, they go 1 for 1, like you mentioned. Raji able to steal Breathe Fire there. Heading back is now IG. Look like they want to rotate bottom, pressure this tier 2, and maybe force the fight.
They have a lot of advantage. Like they have a haste rune up on the Batrider in his bottle. He has lasso up in 10 seconds. Absolutely zero chance they can fight, and they just don't have the counter push speed. At the very least, they had a catapult up top, which is helping.
But I really like the way the Dire have itemized here. They've got double hood, and now with Blink Dagger, they've got some pretty good initiation and a BKB coming on the Venomancer. Even just that value buckler on the Undying to give the whole team a little bit more armor. They're ready to deal with this. They want to fight early, and kind of feels like that Lesh Sand King combo that normally does so much damage just kind of tickles given how much survivability they have. You've got a maxed out Soul Rip on top of, oh, never mind. It's maxed out Tombstone, a level 1 Soul Rip on top of that.
Yeah. It's very nice. For the way they're playing, I think definitely.
Yeah, makes sense. So I thought I just saw him put a few more points in the Soul Rip play, but it was the Tombstone. DK, now with the Blink Dagger, he'll go for BKB next, so even furthering this motif of itemizing for survivability.
Yeah. I mean, there's no question the Radiant, they have no, like, you know, true carry hero, you know? Not that's like traditional hardcore right clicker. Not that I necessarily do offensive Venomancer, but he still provides physical damage than a Leshrac
And
does.
I think you can itemize DK to feel a little more like a right clicker as well.
Yeah, that's true.
But same can be said for the Brewmaster. I mean, level 20. Uh-oh, Batrider walks by Ward. There it is. Epicenter set up for the Storm. And SRF gets evaporated.
Dangerous at Batriders. Trying to scout ahead and be like, hey guys, if there's anyone here looking nearby, we can just get a kill and then go into this tier 2 feeling good, but nice defensive vision here.
I mean, Trent, in a game like this where there is really a lack of true carries, Brewmaster 100 attack speed and 15% Drunken Brawler chance?
Why do you do that? I mean, have you seen Split? It is a very good spell.
So you're thinking he 100% 1500 split and cooldown? Is that what you're guessing?
I mean, I'm not
sure.
100%. I've seen the attack speed every once in a while.
Me too.
It really depends, like, the items that are if there's a Mjolnir on the DK, yeah, he's probably going to get the 1500 health on his Primal Split units.
Okay, I could feel that.
But the attack speed, of course, it is nice to be able to farm very fast. You're not in your ulti. But once you've hit 20, you're so close to 25. And once you hit 25, you're always in your ulti. So...
yeah.
And don't even look at that other 25 talent. That's a no-go. We didn't go there.
Never?
Could be 30% Drunken Brawler. I'm pretty sure you still take the other one every time.
Yeah.
Unless you're really into that full build, you know. Alas, the dark side now looking to keep the aggression up. Batrider alive this time, so he's hoping to find somebody. Brewmaster would have been a great one to grab, but talk about the defensive vision from the Radiant, the aggressive vision from the Dire certainly lacking. Enough inside these big areas, and with the smoke through, they're not even getting wards down, at least not the southern part. They will go with the sentry and the ops combo, so clearly saying we are going for this tier 2 up top.
Dire's bottom tower is under
And
attack.
I'm sure they're also well aware of this, the Radiant side. And obviously Storm just pushing up there, but of course they do push to the mid, so this one should fall rather easily.
And down bottom, Lesh as well as Sand King putting some pressure on, so FTD handling the pressure quite well.
Yeah, but I think IG are making the correct moves, not sending anyone there yet. Like, guarantee the tower and then escape with Song. Like, except that you're going to have some losses on the tower damage in the bottom lane, but don't give into it. Don't send one hero back and suddenly leave yourself vulnerable.
Well, you know, FTD don't really want to commit to that tower. Sure, they've got creep hitting it, but still relatively healthy. With XXS in front lines, it will siege it down, and it ends up being a favorable trade for Invictus Gaming. Only one outer tower remains for FTD. It is that tier 2 in the top lane. IG back up, walk by the Roche pit, but not going to go in there quite yet. 20 minutes, no Roshan action. Really, neither team very good at killing. I don't think we have a medallion out either.
No, not really any classic builders here, so no real option to accelerate your Storm maybe in the Aegis. That would be something that we'd love to get, but...
Yeah, I guess they don't even really have a great Aegis carrier on IG. None of those heroes are...
Veno's pretty good, actually. Just because, like, you can play super aggressive and look for a really good Poison Nova before dying.
And then just come back to life.
Yeah, it's not terrible. I mean,
It's
Obviously,
not good.
The
but
other one's a
it's-
Dragon Knight, so anyone pretty much is better than a Dragon Knight.
Yeah, same with Bat Rider. I guess Undying, there's maybe a little bit of merit.
Only
He's
once you have the
level 15, you get the death, and then you come back to life. That's
kind of fun.
cute. Like the one time you don't feel so bad about that talent. There is Bloodstone up on Storm, and he initiates right onto the Naga Siren.
Now that is well timed.
Follow up from James, and yeah, it's a free charge.
All right, baby. Bloodstone, Dota, Leshrac, and Storm Spirit, the race for more charges. And now look at this. Like with all towers the Dire have taken, still a 1k lead for the Radiant. Starting to show this 5-man Dota like suffering a little bit in terms of like the distribution of the net worth overall. Having a Sand King in this game is so important for the Radiant. If this is some other position 4 that can't split push quite as fast, the game looks much more difficult. But you can see the advantage he's taking. He looks like the offlaner. He's just behind the Bat Rider.
Most. Bat Rider comes in just a little too late. Force Staff, not too far away for him. Gressif with the BKB, now going for a Dragonlance, so he can turn into a bit more of a siege. Both sides just so comfortable giving each other this space.
It's all about the that one big team fight for FTD.
Dude, they've got double Bloodstone.
Yeah,
Lesh has
exactly.
one.
That's the race, man. It's the we just look for a giant fight with Brewmaster, kill 3 or 4 heroes. Both of these guys getting all those charges is just insane.
Very greedy, but we can get away with it. Some of these mid-game fights are just completely different. Rubik now caught by the lasso. Big-time follow-up. He does have teammates nearby on the high ground, but can't get there in time to turn anything around. And now IG move into the Roche pit. Rubik down to 30 with no buyback. You do have a Sand King split pushing down bottom, so some pressure on that tier 2. Radiant seem a little unsure about how to react, but Roche is like barely taking
They have
damage
a ward
right
here.
now.
If Storm walks down, that would be a dangerous maneuver.
I mean, Rubik is going to respawn, though. This is not feeling like a safe Roche play whatsoever. Storm actually zips in, checks the HP, makes the same conclusion that we do. Says, guys, let's just wait this out. Rubik's coming back. We can definitely intercept. Brewmaster goes in, uses the split. Roche still about half HP. Now James initiated on. Nice stun cross on 2. Storm might be able to clean this up. They go 1 for 1 with the Sand King. Brewmaster creating some chaos outside of the pit. Roche not even the focus anymore.
Yeah, Sand King's coming back now with the Blink and the Epi too, so extremely important engagement. Again, Bloodstone charges, something we need to watch out for, so they don't want to get too much away here. But you're able to go in there as the Storm Spirit again because it's a 10-pick Storm. You know that there's not that much control. You knew Lasso was on cooldown. That means there's just Dragonite and maybe a net, but obviously that should not hit you.
Some great vision here for the Dire. They've got this Observer in the river.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about these kind of unique wards lately in terms of just like trying not to get dewarded with how many sentries people are placing. Like, look where that ward is and look where the 2 sentries from the Radiant are.
Right.
One up on the high ground for each side. Completely dodged.
Yeah. Definitely giving them an advantage there. Still a worthy buyback on the Sand King to get back in this
Hey,
fight.
check out this epic battle at the Roche pit. You seen this?
Oh shit.
Venom ward on Venom ward action. Oh, he's gonna suicide. He knew he was gonna lose. Couldn't handle it. That's an honorable death right there.
IG though, feeling like they need to linger around. They'll smoke up. DK ult up in another few seconds. Bat Rider already has his.
Yeah, no split for 35. This is the time to fight.
Storm zips in for creeps, but there's huge follow-up. Epicenter, it's a great fate. Leshrac's there with a stun. They'll find the first kill on Bat Rider, but Boca getting low, but FTD might lose beyond. He'll be the first to go down, and they're sustaining through it. Lesh has the suicide. IG have the dying, and it's just an overwhelming amount of damage. Now Song of the Siren. Storm locked in place.
They just need to shrine up.
Zip forward on Q, but that's not the target you want. Now the Dragon Tail connects onto Rachi. He gets brought down. The buyback on Brew, not going to do much. His ult just now refreshing. IG, they really want this Roche, but still feeling timid. Either way, a big fight.
Yeah, and now it kind of swings back the other way because all these cooldowns have been used from the dinners. So,
Wow. You know, that was all 5 down on FTD.
Yeah. With the buyback from the Brewmaster too.
Wow.
The only reason it felt like they even had a chance in the second go was because the Bloodstones bringing back the respawn from the Storm Spirit and the Leshrac, but that comes at a cost. 10 charges left for Leshrac and 11 for the Storm. As they continue to hold this area.
Yep. Honestly, Trent, that fight felt like power up against Nine. He didn't even have the mech in that engagement, but feeling so much from the first goal and chaos from the zombies, and just having those soul rips to throw out onto his teammates. So much survivability. Of course, BKB from DK is what allowed him to stand his ground against the Lesher.
I think you have to give a ton of credit to SRX on that round. Like, he has a lot of pressure on him this game. He has to catch Storm, or they pretty much don't win these fights. And he got him. I mean, you know, maybe you can say that was like Storm's own mistake or something for just kind of showing like that in a pretty greedy spot.
It
But
felt like a bait in the moment. There was an epicenter from the Sand King like the second from Spirit got caught. I mean, we were kind of ready for that to happen, but it might not have been. It might have just been his team saying, dude, you got caught. We were ready to react. It's, you know, I'm not sure where the credit goes on that one. But either way, you're right. The Bat Rider made the play that started off that whole chain of events. And now it's a 4-staff. Some big optimization for IG following that game.
I think they're smoking up again here too, trying to find another fight. Even though everyone's ultis are back up, they're probably thinking they on the map. FTD might think they smoked Roche, and so they can kind of bait it like that. They're trying to maybe find where the stuff is coming back. You Love Me has been lurking in that tree line for a long while up there. He's finally going to show on that wave.
Steps in, DK looking for the Dragon Tail, but can't close the gap. Tough one to initiate on.
Okay. Failed smoke. Well, their bottom tower is snaking with pushing the entire tower.
Bat Rider for the opening though, flying mid, sees the ledge. Pony Boy's a little too fast. 50 movement speed. James, like you were talking about, the Sand King continuing to put a lot of pressure around the map. Gets troops up to the tier 3 as they lose that last outer tower, the tier 2 in the top lane.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So DK ult will be down, but we will have the lasso still available here in terms of like this potential finagling towards Roche pit. Find another room here. Bumka actually takes. Oh, maybe he was going to try and leave it for the Bat Rider once again, but very good on the rune so far. SRF more like S4. It was like third haste rune so far.
Optimization now, the full Hurricane Pipe for Venomancer. And Maelstrom out on the DK. KD also completed on Brewmaster, who hits level 15. Not a big talent break there, but will take some magic resistance.
Yeah, if they don't hurt in terms of like taking this Roche, there's going to be 3 10-second BKBs on the Radiant side. Which, although the Radiant are fairly magic focused, so are the Dot. You know, the Bat Rider, Venomancer, Dragon Knight might have come up from him. But will not be breaking into. So we'll just have 2 back here, and see how similar this engagement goes. They have Dire Vision where Storm is flying Paul, so they know he's still moving up north, clearing that wave.
This time feels maybe a bit more safe. He just got extra damage to bring it out, but down more quickly.
Brewmaster, preemptive BKB. Does he want to?
The big clumps. He jumps in. Roshan still pretty healthy. 2 of the BKBs get popped from IG. Veno does not have an opportunity to open and get a lasso onto the Leshrac, and there it is. The Poison Nova comes. Roshan the pit finishes off Stone and actually dash on the Brewmaster. Stood up for the Naga Siren ultimate. Meteor Hammer followed and beyond gets smashed in the pit. It's super nil. IG the fight. We're still standing. There's the epicenter from G. Not ideal. Okaji with the stolen Poison Nova, though. That could be something. BKB on Storm. Coming into the cleanup. Mop and Bucket gets 1, but Roshan falls to the Radiant. Snatched now by the DK. It will get finished off. This Poison Nova from Rubik doing a ton of work. Bat Rider on 1 HP. But Storm out of mana. Now XXS, he's back. Gets a flame break for some extra damage. Q inside of the pit. They won't be able to chase down the Storm. The Bloodstone from Flesh brings him back into the fray. A chaotic fight, but I think it's FTD that kind of managed. They finished off Roche. They did get that gold boost.
Yeah, that was really nice. That zip and get it. And just that first engagement, he used everything. Once the lasso's gone, this game just feels so much better, especially with this BKB, because then there's nothing left to go through it. And You Love Me, he was damn close getting the Aegis too, so a very good fight for FTD, and it means IG just don't have the power to start pushing forward the Aegis, feeling really comfortable. I think they give up on the Angels. They're pushing without it.
That is a Nova from a Mirage. He was just an absolute game changer. But speak of the devil, old Raji's going to get punished. He gets caught by Lasso, and Rubik is going to suffer a fiery fate as he burns down in the river. On the other side, they force a BKB on the Brewmaster.
Yeah, he actually ended up doing more damage than the Venomancer with his poison Nova. In that previous fight, it was 37-61 for Ruben and 30-45 for the Veno.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? Because he's got the no field, so he puts it defensive after Veno uses it, and then turns it aggressive the other way. I think he also did.
But that's good. I like your next level.
The meta of the no field.
But they don't need it. Talk about how it's not the most amazing item for them anyway, so there's certainly some merit just like, maybe we just go.
Definitely something to stand on here. Storm trying to clear out the creeps, but this tier 3 will go down. No glyph available. They do have a Song of the Siren, but no lasso. However, it's coming up in just a second here. Now BK jumped on his ultimate, soon to actually, the larger but they jumped onto the ledge. He's getting low and they've got the damage just about. He gets off the Yules in time. BKB will not be there. Instead, he suicides Storm. Still zipping all around the back line, trying to do what he can, but they're just having trouble bringing down these tanky Dire heroes. Brew ate the Panda split form, but unfortunately,
they're almost bringing them in.
They
have Song too, like you cannot extend too far as the Radiant here.
Yeah, I mean the Brewmaster maybe feels a little more safe. That was a rocky hold, and they do hold on to the barracks, but man, that's tough.
This looks so much better from IG already today, though. Like, this measured aggression. Like, before they couldn't find any aggression yesterday, it was just completely patient farming, getting some items. Now, they're not going too far. They're just tier 3, being happy with that, trying to close out some shrines, and geez, a hell of a lot better. So next Roche variant.
They're also playing around the DK a lot better. I got nervous there that he was about to lose his ult. They were really trying to force it, but he still had plenty of action, and they're picking these fights when XXS can be that frontliner.
Yeah.
It seemed like that was one of the things they struggled with yesterday was, who do we play around? What are the timing? What if we don't have a driving force to tell us how to start sieging and take these objectives? Our default is to farm. That's what we saw yesterday.
That's definitely seemed to be the problem.
So I think you're right. This is a lot.
They have it in two ways too. Like they have the direction of the Dragonite just ulting and hitting buildings, and they have Lasso. Lasso and Chrono are two of these spells that just feel like you smoke and good about the game.
Yeah, I think they've also done a really good job playing around Q this game. Uh-oh, mid lane, they're going to jump in onto the Dragonite. Isn't going to be able to survive. He hits off the BKB, and here's the mech. Q actually lets him reset, and now the real fight begins. Naga Siren with the ultimate, but there's a lot of BKB still lasting through, and now Aggressive with the Poison Nova will connect on most of the Radiant, and I think this is IG's fight. Starting to bring down the left, he'll fall first. Now it's James with the center on the back line. They survive through it. Meteor Hammer comes down on Raj, and he goes down next. 2-0 as Beyond gets chased down. Brew split up in just a couple of seconds. He'll likely survive through this. The Storm Spirit has made it back as James has already been brought down on the backside. Now the final split will be deployed. Naga Siren taking some damage, but as just a solo Brewmaster, a tough kill find. Rubik buys back, TP's in. Maybe they can bring down Q. No mech, but just have a soul rip. Raji with the smear images and some support on the back line. XXS wants this Brewmaster. Nice play. Will give him some distance, but they can close the gap. Dragon Tail connects, and now this Panda, well, he gets put to sleep. Brutal stuff for FTD.
If you actually look overall, there was more damage for the Radiant, but he's a tanky hero. All this damage mitigation they have on the side of IG as well is just, they don't have enough in the tank. Like, that fight started, and within, I'd say, the first, 6 seconds or so, Storm was completely out of mana. Maybe even less than that. Like, he was just standing there like a creep, and he's died enough that he's down to 14 Bloodstone charges at that point. And, Henry isn't quite there.
Oh, Storm up top, looking for an initiation, but now he's completely out of mana. The Meteor Hammer connects. He will zip across the way, uses BKB as a desperate attempt to survive, but SRF is a step ahead, and he will be forced to use the Bloodstone to kill himself and end up with 9 charges. That's not ideal.
Yeah, and another good line here from Aggressive. Let's get aggressive. And march down mid, because we've DK'd.
I'll take your
Yeah, the fight before that, though, it's the DK feels like target if he can actually keep it in that situation. You catch him for the BKB, wow, you've taken out their driver. They're not going to siege for the foreseeable future here while he's in the grave. If it goes the other way, that Undying is just a little too close and gets off the Soul Rip and mech. It's a completely different equation, and that's where that tankiness and survivability comes in, because DK is one with all these regeneration-based items. 48 regen right now. Not the hero that you're going to be able to finish off if you don't kill him with the burst. 2x on that Dragon Blood armor and regen. So
I am loving the way that MOBA is just like showcasing the versatility of song. So in this game, he doesn't have a real song partner. You know, this is not Song in a Static Storm, Song in the Ice Path Macropyre, not the kind of dog. It's a game where he's using it for either defensive purposes, we can all retreat, or he's using it to isolate this BKB hero. This shark got destroyed because they're able to 5v1 him.
Well, initiation on the Brute after does BKB and split. James goes in hard. It's a big epicenter. A lot of damage on Boca. They lock him down. Q falls in tandem as they both buy back. James onto the side. He takes a lot of return damage. And all of a sudden, it's a 5v3 now. Or 5v4 to 5v3. Brewmaster also getting clicked down, and it is a complete slaughter, a situation where IG used the aggressive buybacks much to their favor. It forces the buybacks out of the Radiant, and Rubik will be stuck in the grave now. His buyback's still on the uphold Meg. Storm trying to clear out the creeps.
Yeah, Flash Rack, they get it done, and that will slow down the melee rack siege here, because that was the last wave.
Still the DK, perfect hero to have in this kind of scenario. A little bit of time left on that ulti as the glue comes.
Storm needs to go for that next wave, and he won that. Oh, he didn't get it. He mistimed it there, but
they might still back up anyway, though.
Yeah, DK running down, so no real worries.
Still a gain for IG when it's all said and done. They get the barracks. They use some buyback, force some buybacks of their own, get DK one step closer to that Heart of Trask. They'll even clear out some enemy ancients on their way home. Let's take a look. How's Radiant doing, Trent? Item-wise, have you seen any progression here? Ugh, some scary-looking Bloodstone charges. 4 on the Lash and 11 on the Storm. Not quite as bad, but not where you want to be at this stage. However, he does have Hammer.
Yeah, Storm got that at least before his last top, but yeah. And Dire side, they should be the ones that first know about Roche. You can just keep dropping the Plague Wards inside, and it is going to be a relatively early 1 minute away now. If they were to get cheese on the Radiant side, I mean, it obviously gives us a better chance. Still gonna be hard to win the fight, but Storm here 2 lives, essentially, maybe Aegis and 3 lives.
Aegis, Cheese, and Storm and Lash on your team. It's pretty darn good. It is basically just like giving you 2 additional buybacks, except you're right there. I think that gives FTD a pretty good chance, to be honest. I think if IG get this rush, I don't know how FTD hold.
XXS is just excessively farmed.
Yeah, he's kind of just taunting them at this point. He's like, look, I'm going to farm wherever I want. You guys can see me. That's cool. You want to fight? Let's do it. I'm ready to party.
Well, that's what we're saying.
And with the coaching of his team, they know. He's ready. He's got that defiance.
Holding the ulti still.
And now the Blasto, the Storm zips in, but it's looking good for IG. Brew barely gets off the split. Q still also holding on to their, a little bit of life. They reset again with the Naga Siren, and they just don't have the resources. Storm not able to do what he wants. His teammates are just getting cleaned up. The Brewmaster able to get away. Nope, not going to get back to Panda form, and it's just slaughter. That was a ridiculously chaotic fight, Trent. I feel like that was just every AoE spell once going off, and then FTD just kind of flopped over.
Yeah, they're just the bog, man. You know, they can't fight into it.
It really was the bog.
It's there.
That would have been the perfect way to salvage that by play. It's the bog! Because that's really what it felt like. I mean, it was just an overwhelming amount of damage. 3,800, the DK alone did 3,800. He popped the Mjolnir buff on himself.
Yeah. He didn't even
kill this dragon.
The first 10 seconds, he's just standing there with BKB on his right-clicking in melee form.
It looks like IG weren't even sure if they needed to commit to the fight. Maybe we need to pick off this Brewmaster and then walk in Roche. And FD, or TD, just kept throwing more and buys at it. And IG said, well, if they're going to commit, boys, then we're in. And then once Benno got off a big Poison Nova, it's just over. Yeah. There's no salvaging that. Especially now that the BKBs are down pretty low. Storm's down to 5 seconds. Lesh down to 7 seconds. And even the Brewmaster, he's down to 5 seconds. So that's where the Poison Nova, yeah, you're mitigating a little bit of that, but still 18 seconds. That's 13 seconds of big-time poison damage you're taking. Hard up on DK, so.
Yeah, BKB
but get it
back too. Being a Yules and the Naga, this is a very tough game. So she could have bought her Spirit Vessel, but she buys a full Yules instead.
Well, they definitely could kill Roche. I guess IG, not all in Korean, it's about the strat, and DK will just kind of walk in the pit. His ultimate just now refreshing. So what's the play for FTD? Do you go for the YOLO smoke at this point? 13k net worth, 2 lanes barrack. You're really looking for the desperation play. They will IG into the aggressors though, so they won't even give them the opportunity. James gets caught, as does the Leshrac with the left, so Storm jumps into the back line, and this time he gets a pretty good catch. He kills the Naga Siren. Buyback from the Leshrac as he loses his 2 supports. The Brood does get off the split, but I don't know if it's going to keep him alive. The right clicks are really hurting, and the Broodlings are just made of paper at this point. 3 down, no buyback. It's a 4v2, and it might be beginning and chips out, catches Batrider, but again, they've got the survivability. Guardian Greaves, Soul Rip, Storm just can't find a kill. BKB used by a left, and IG repel and push him back. The right clicks from the DK just too much.
Yeah, it just feels like it's too much to repel at this point. It just, you know, they understood the only way they could win this game as the Radiant is to build these fight items, like get Bloodstones, try and win a bunch of fights, and try and just, like, take over the game at that point. But I got that early ball rolling. They took advantage of the draft that they had. They played very well, and most important, the game early on. Well, maybe they can get a nice little Bloodstone charge added back here.
Oh,
Guardian's helping out here.
I'm just afraid to commit into it. I mean, I think Storm could have gotten that kill, but at what cost? If he throws his life like that, certainly not worth. 12 Bloodstone charges and a Bloodthorn. Feeling very grim for FTD in this first game.
Impressive stuff from IG overall, honestly. I think
But the DK now sells his hood, just goes straight for the MKB. Transitioning from really beefy core, he's got the heart going back for damage-based items.
I really like the itemization earlier too. Just very good recognition from IG to put a double hood on DK as well as the Venom. It really slowed down the Brewmaster early on too. Just like he's running the fights, trying to create these moments, but every fight that he tries to take with them, they don't have any sort of damage like take advantage of any of these stuns. So like Epicenter or just like Brewmaster's initial kind of like burst and all of this fight isn't enough to kill someone. No one's following up at all. You know, it's just there's magic damage from a Leshrac, magic damage from the Storm.
Well, here's the initiation. Batrider jumped onto by Storm and might have enough. The Soul Burn pops, but on the other side, XX is destroying his supports. Batrider, Raji, and Storm also tied for it. Now the buyback on Batrider. DK with the double damage. Doing a lot of zoning as aggressive, showing off that eye of Scotty. My God. They're just overfarmed at this point. That was a 1 for 3. Now the GG gets called. Lash will be able to use the BKB, but last is there in the throne will get popped. Very nice game for this gaming.
Absolutely. I like the fact that Storm ends godlike because he kept denying himself. I never got a streak.
It's actually pretty good.
It's